already clapped. You don't need to clap again. Oh, dude, I'm so
they're gonna keep
stiff.
it going.
I wanted to, but like I thought about it,
Ready?
and like I'm so stiff. Hey guys, welcome back.
What was that?
It's been a long week. I'm tired and my body hurts.
His body's telling him no, but his mind is telling him yes. I couldn't really quote R. Kelly,
yeah,
so that's why I went backwards with it.
Anyway,
Your body's telling you no to like, no, you should probably go home and rest, but your mind is telling you, yes, record this podcast.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't see nothing wrong.
But my body.
It's
Hey, guys, welcome back.
R. Kelly's like, I don't see nothing wrong. I was like, well,
Well,
we see a lot of things wrong, R.
The
Kelly.
United States penal system sees a lot of things wrong.
I was watching, what was it? It was the SNL opening skit, like immediately after that interview he had, and it was like Kenan Thompson playing R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Dude, it's the funniest thing ever. You should definitely watch it.
I'll definitely put that on a list of things I tell G I'm watching, but I don't.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are having a good time, having a splendid spring day.
I just asked you a question. You
Because it's
completely
spring?
ignored me.
It is spring, right?
I just asked you a question. You ignored me again.
What was the question?
I said, how was your week?
Oh, it's good.
Okay, cool. You can continue now.
That's
I have validation.
you have a daughter, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you definitely have a daughter. I think.
You've met her.
Have I? I thought that was your
Yes.
sister. But have you ever had a conversation with her? You're like, hey, how are you? And they're just like, good. And you're like, oh, okay, fuck me, right?
Dude, all the time. Like, anytime I text my daughter, I'm just like, hey, what's up? Nothing. Okay.
Never mind.
Never
Just,
mind.
I guess you're alive. That's fine.
Yeah.
And I was having a conversation with a teenager. It wasn't even a conversation. It was like, I was like, dude, how's it going? I haven't seen him. And how are you? He's like, good. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, see you later.
Goodbye.
I was excited to see you, but now not anymore.
Yeah, right.
You know who you are.
Yes, you do.
He's definitely not listening to this. Anyways,
Yeah.
I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are enjoying the spring. I'm going to say this again because Chris interrupted me, but yeah. Shall
Is
we?
that all you had to say?
That's
'Cause
it,
That's
yeah.
not very impressive.
No, that's it.
You made this huge deal about how I interrupt you, and you just didn't have anything to say.
That's fair.
Anyway, should we move on to the first question?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Round one.
Shout out to Megan. Brightside Coffee. I remembered it this time. Check it out. She has a trailer. It's awesome here in Greeley. Unless you're listening in like Japan or formerly known as Yugoslavia, then you can't get here. Maybe
Why would
eventually.
you go there?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a country, and that was the first one that came to mind.
That's weird.
The question is legal
Topic.
drinking
The
age.
topic.
Or yeah, I guess question and topic is legal drinking age. So it's 21 here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's kind of interesting that in Colorado, well, might have been federal. Was it federal? They raised the smoking age. Was that a federal thing that you did?
Yeah, it was federal.
I think that's super interesting that they raised the smoking age to 21 as well, and that doesn't really make sense to me. But the whole drinking age in general doesn't really, like, I get the, like, biologically your brain's not developed. Well, if that's the case, then nobody should be drinking ever until they're like 70. So if that's literally your only argument, then we should just abstain from drinking forever.
So the reason why the drinking age changed, I think in like the 80s, is when it was like kind of it went state to state with it.
Because I know Colorado is one of those last ones to go up to 21 because my parents grew up in Nebraska and they drive literally like 15, 20 minutes across the border and get some Coors when they were in high school.
Yeah, and so the reason why they did that was there was a whole thing with like the mothers against drunk driving were like the forefront of that.
Yeah.
And so the way that the federal system tried to push that was by saying, hey, you can have your legal drinking age at whatever you want, but just know if it's not 21, we're not going to fund your highways.
Yeah.
And that's legit how it became a thing. I don't necessarily agree with it. I think the more you try to encourage youngsters, youngsters is a good word.
You're a boomer now.
Yep.
You're a boomer now.
Was that the what is it?
Pampers or something? Or
No, it's not
pull-ups,
Pampers.
pull-ups.
It is pull-ups.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pull-ups. Yeah.
Still use them. Anyways, I don't use them.
Sure, bud.
But no, like it's I lost my train of thought now. Oh, here it is. The reason why I'm just like not okay, like I think it should be lower. I think it should still be 18 because at 18 you're still trying to figure things out. And there's that rebellious aspect of being young and not being able to do things. You're just gonna be like, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. I think that whole interesting conversation is like, if you're a legal adult, you should be able to legally do adult things.
Yeah, if you can sign up for the military or get drafted for the military, you should be able to have a shot of whiskey to just be like,
And the fact that so many countries are younger in drinking age than the United States,
There's a lot
I think
of them
that
that are
also goes back to how prude and Puritans that we pretend to be in our.
I mean, yeah, it kind of solidifies the simple fact that there's a lot of roots from the founding, not even fathers, but just the people, the pilgrims and all that shit that still resonates so much more with us as well, and just our, like the way we think about things. Not that there's necessarily nothing wrong with that, but there is that aspect of like,
There's nothing great with it though.
yeah, I mean, like seriously, like not to say I don't want to be hanging out with 18-year-olds at a bar, but again, they're just getting into college. That's like the thing you do. They're going to be drinking anyways. Might as well just not make it as difficult. That way they're not like.
If they
like,
stopped
encouraged to do
making
it.
it a thing, it wouldn't be that bad of a thing.
Yeah, I mean, because you have a daughter, right?
Yeah.
And Morgan, here's the secret. I'm gonna let you know on this.
She doesn't listen to these.
Oh, okay, good. But no, just like that aspect of, I remember being younger and someone told me I couldn't do something, the more I wanted to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you would like overdo it, right? I didn't really drink when I didn't underage drink when I was young.
When you were underage.
I guess I did maybe like once or twice.
What was the age you first started to not even started drinking, but had your first drink? I guess.
My first drink was probably 18.
Yeah.
And
Cute.
then I had like maybe like a beer here and there, but I was also kind of like, this tastes gross, and also this is not legal.
Yeah. All right, you're one of those.
I was one of those, yeah.
So was I.
And so yeah, 21 is when I just let loose.
Yeah, that's fair. And I think that makes like 21-year-olds more.
Well, it's like a rite of passage for sure.
Yeah, and I think that kind of ruins the idea of drinking too. Is like when 21-year-olds turn 21, they go hard.
And that's that's the biggest question is like if we were to adapt some type of like culturally thing where it's like, okay, they can drink at 11, have some wine, like how like Italy does, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Not so that they don't have alcoholics over there like raging parties.
Not more than any other country, so I think that's also a good valid thing to look at.
Yeah, but I think it's also one of those things where you're trying to catch up for like lost years. I know I did that when I was 21 to be like, oh, dude, I can finally drink. Like I'm gonna drink as much as I can.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, I'm fortunate enough to be not in a bad situation, but there's a lot of people that were put into terrible situations for that matter. So I think it should be lowered. I really do.
I do as well. And like I was saying, if your only real argument against it is like, oh, well, your brain's not physiologically developed, and blah, 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 I'm like, okay, but when does it stop being
Yeah.
developed?
No, I
It's
agree
like
100%.
25, but they still allow you to drink for 4 years. So I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like alcohol is a very addictive drug and
Yeah.
a very damaging drug.
Yeah.
And if they did more effort to teach people about it, like the dangers of it, like the like causation and the effects and all that kind of stuff about it, rather than put it on a pedestal when you turn 21, I think we would have a much better culture in general.
Not that this is the same thing, but it's kind of like having the abstinence talk, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I remember them having that talk and being like trying to scare me into it.
Like
But
the only form of birth control is not having sex.
no control.
No control.
But no, it's I don't know, man. It's got to be hard being an adult trying to figure out how to do the right things with kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, I mean, I remember being 18. I thought I had everything figured out.
Yeah, how stupid
So
kids
like,
are.
there's also that aspect
Even
of it.
like
but-
26, people like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
an adult now. I'm like, you're 26. You have no idea what the fuck's going on,
Yeah.
dude. You're cool.
Yeah, when do you become an adult?
I don't know. It really depends per case, but I would say on average, probably like 27 to 30.
I think mine would be 27. Was like, oh,
Yeah, right.
I'm too old to be.
Yeah, for real, dude. Like we were just talking
Oh,
earlier, and it's like, oh, I can't drink like I used to. I'm like,
Nope.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
duh.
oh, it's also like looking back, like, and just seeing how like situations I put myself in. You're just like, man, how am I still alive? I remember I used to go like on 3-week benders,
Yeah, I never did that.
and
so.
it's not. And that sounds like terrible because it sounds like I'm an alcoholic, but it was just like the thing to do. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, I
that's
work
fair.
at a bar, like.
Yeah, because your occupation was a little different than mine.
Like, yeah,
Or,
let's
you
have a
worked at a
couple-
bar. You're an active musician. That was like your job is to go have drinks with people, more or
Yeah,
less.
that was a lot, but would that change if the drinking age was younger?
I think the glamorization of it would be a lot different. So it would completely shift from 21 to 18.
Does it legit just come down to just like when is it okay for you to make bad decisions?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
And I think
21's
it's
the
the
age
thing,
limit
yeah.
for
I
shit,
think
not
that's
for
the
that
thing.
from smoking. So
Yeah. But yeah, like, I don't know. Like, it's still going to be there. I think the only difference is going to be, like, if we teach teenagers to drink responsibly would be better than telling them not to drink at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be much better. But that's
And that is time.
Ticket.
Yes, we did the same thing.
Jinx, you owe me a
Red Bull?
yes.
Round two.
Round two.
Round two. Enjoying your own product.
Oh.
And we're not talking about like
our
you know,
OnlyFans
Scarface
that you guys
or
don't know
anything.
about.
Yeah, we're not talking about Scarface. Never
Oh,
get
yeah, we're
high
not
on your
drug
own supply.
dealers.
We're talking about literally this.
Um,
Can you enjoy your music? Can you
no.
enjoy your own podcasts?
It's yes and no. I feel like I obsess over the song over and over again when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I'm like, oh, this is a shit. It's more like, is this really good enough to put out there? You know, like
That's fair.
I'm always questioning myself when it comes to that. I don't like personally listening to my music.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that firsthand multiple times.
Yeah, and
Someone puts on G's song on Spotify and he's like, no.
yeah, no, I've had multiple instances, and it's funny because it's like I feel extremely rude doing that because it's like it's a compliment. Like for example, I have a good friend who like owns a boat, and they'll like play my song there, and I'm just like cringing the whole time. But it's also like I can't be mad about that. That's why it's there, and I have to be okay with the fact that people are going to play it in front of me. But I just don't like hearing my voice, and that's what I tell people. It's like record yourself, play it back, and tell me you're not going to cringe.
Yeah, I think you're getting better though, having to literally hear your voice every single week now.
Oh yeah, I mean even the podcast, I like listening to it to be like, oh, I think we're funny.
Yeah,
Which-
I've been told we're kind of funny, so that's fine.
Yeah, except for that whole first boner thing. Apparently, that didn't go too well.
I got nothing but positive feedback about that. So
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
boners are tight.
Oh wow. Yeah. So I mean, do you enjoy listening to yourself?
Every time I edit this podcast, I just chuckle at it. It's still funny to me.
Now,
but
is-
also, I edit this podcast at twice the amount of speed. So
Funny story. He sounds like Ben Shapiro. when he does
I
that.
sound almost exactly like Ben Shapiro.
If you have an option on your podcast to like speed it up like times 2, he will sound legit like Ben Shapiro, and
Yeah,
it's
that's
freaking
facts.
hilarious.
That's
dude.
facts.
It's always like this, talks like this, and it's just like
Yeah, I guess we have a lot of the same cadences. I'm just way slower than he is at speaking
and thinking.
and thinking probably.
I don't know if I was okay giving Ben Shapiro a compliment on that one. I'll take that one back.
Yeah, it's too late. It's out there now.
Is it though?
It is too
We
late.
can always-
Too late. Nope. It's there.
But no, okay. So anything outside of the podcast? Like,
But yeah, I've always enjoyed listening to my own music. Like,
well, you're also the bass player though. That's different.
wow, that almost sounded racist. If bass was a race or something, that was so rude, dude. You're just a bass player, bro. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean you're in the very back for most tracks.
Just because I stand next to the drummer.
Unless you're like
doesn't mean
Thundercat.
anything.
No, you don't. You stand to my right.
Yeah, I was like, I'm stage left.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like because we said it 2 different ways and just
Yeah.
confuse them. But no, I guess that's the biggest question is I'm thinking about this more in the standpoint of like vocals and not so much music. So I guess that's not fair for me to be like.
Oh
that's
yeah,
all you
like
play.
how I can hear myself a bunch. Like this podcast is gonna be kind of weird to edit because I'm stuffy and I can hear that and that's gonna bother me. But other
changes.
yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, I know.
That's gonna bother me. But other than that, it's like yeah, I can listen to myself
Yeah, no.
and enjoy myself talking for a long time now.
So I think it was Donald Glover. I always get him and the other Glover, Lethal Weapon guy confused.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Danny
Yeah,
Danny Glover.
I was
and
letting
Donald
you figure
Glover.
that out. I
Yeah.
was letting you figure that out.
He has a stand up out there. His only stand up that's actually like mainstream.
Weirdo?
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome stand up by the way. If you guys
It's
want to check
fine.
it out.
He
He's
mostly makes a bunch of references to, like his rap and community and
he's talking about how he can actually enjoy listening to his music, and someone's like, "Are you blasting your own shit on your car?" And he's all, "Yeah." I'm just like, dude, I couldn't do that.
yeah.
If
I
it's-
could.
If
I
it's
don't
if it's like me and you, I'd be like, "Yeah, we need to analyze this," instead of being like, "Let's roll down the windows and enjoy this track." I couldn't do that.
That's because
I would hate it.
you're a weirdo. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, I don't think a lot of musicians actually enjoy listening to themselves.
Sure, man. Every musician I've known had no problem with it. You're the only one that's weird.
I guess you guys let me know if you're a musician, if I'm an idiot, or if Chris is fucking stupid.
Wow. I like how you're just an idiot and I'm fucking stupid. I see how it is, bro.
I just know everyone's gonna call me fucking stupid, so I figured I'd call you
Yeah,
once.
I'll get ahead of it.
Yeah.
I'll get ahead of it before it happens to me.
Yeah, listening to it's not even getting high off of your own supply because that'd be extremely narcissistic. I feel like.
And that matches your personality. How?
God, I fucking hate you. You're such a dick. But no, I just think for me, it's like once I'm done with it, I want to really hear it again, and that's probably just because like
Yeah.
we listen to the song
Yeah,
over
hundreds
and
of-
over and over and over
Yeah.
again.
Like
and
right now, I'm working on an EP for the band I'm in, Defeats the Porpoise, and I'm listening to this song called Skeletons, and I've listened to it probably like 80 times.
I listened to it like maybe 20 or 30.
Yeah, you've listened
myself.
to it enough too.
But I mean, and that's the thing is like I don't mind that as much as like just my shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like once you're done recording it, you just let go of everything that you had planned for that.
Yeah, like
And you
once
just,
you
like,
hit
hope
like
for the
publish,
best.
you
Yeah.
just kind of have to let go of it. And see, I get what you're saying on that point because once you put it on the internet, it's not necessarily yours anymore.
Yeah.
It's everyone else's. And
But it's
their-
also the biggest
feelings and
fear
stuff
of just
about
being
it.
like, I don't think this is good enough because I've never felt like any of my recordings are like, this is it. It's always like, oh, okay.
yeah, I
like,
mean,
we're almost
honestly,
there.
if you felt like you did it right the first time every time, then that says more about your personality than anything else.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I've ever had a good performance like in my entire life.
Oh, we've. I guess
We've had a fun performance,
That's-
but I don't
yeah.
think I've ever played like phenomenal, like ever.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I think I've had like maybe one or two shows where I was like, man, my voice was on point that show, but it wasn't
Definitely
like,
only one or two where your
Yeah.
voice is on point.
yeah, my voice is usually shit most of the times.
Every time because he doesn't warm up properly.
That's
before
not true. I
things.
actually started doing that now.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, especially
It only
if-
took you fucking 10 years.
Yeah. Especially like if it's shows that are like a ways away, I'm just like, oh, 30-minute warm up, and I'm just like me, like I'm like driving.
Me
them off.
mamu, me mamu, me.
I'm just like,
Oh, you do a little buzz lips.
yeah.
Dude, I forgot what movie I watched. This is kind of on topic, but one of the characters was like this weird little alien. I think it was Space Chimps, actually.
Space
If
Jam.
you guys haven't watched Space Chimps, don't.
Wait, Space Jam?
Space Chimps.
Oh, Space Chimps.
Yeah. But there's like weird little alien character, and it's
Was
played
it
by
Breaking
some.
Bread?
Yes. It's played by some actress that's like a more of a singer than anything, and like the whole like quirks and quips of the alien were just like vocal warm ups.
yeah.
So like the alien's like me 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 me. Yeah, that's every time someone does like the vocal buzz warm up. That's what it reminds me of. That stupid fucking alien
So
on that movie.
don't watch Space Chimps. is
Dude,
what
that
we're
movie's
saying.
awful. I mean, if you love awful movies, watch Space Chimps. But if you value your time and yourself as a person, do not watch Space Chimps. Anyway, that's time.
Yeah, I mean, my stuff. I'm never gonna like it. So
Yeah, that's
I think
fair.
I'll like it when I write it, but then I won't like it like after that. Anyways,
And
tell
all
me
the
what you
cities
think.
that sound the same.
oh,
That line was legit. I will say that.
from Portland, Oregon to Portland, Maine.
And all the cities that sound the same.
Oh, that's a funny one. We'll
It's
talk about
such a
that
good
one later.
line. Such a good line.
All right, let's get to the second, third subject. The third subject. The second plus two. Plus one. I can't
I thought you
count.
gave up that little bit last season.
No, I was trying to like say it was a third round, but then I said second round, and then I like did bad math. Anyways, here's the next subject.
Round 3.
All right, G, what's the...
This next subject-
Oh, just interrupt me as I'm in the middle of saying a sentence that I'm elongating now, so you don't have an opportunity to speak.
So this next subject.
Next
is gonna
subject
be
is what, G?
a shout out to Armando Silva.
Oh, him.
This is what a dick. Him, not you.
Yeah, check out that podcast, by the way.
Yeah, it's gonna be up.
You're
here.
not going to do it. It's on the other side. It's above your head, I'm pretty sure.
Here.
You're not going to put that in, so it's fine.
Here. Maybe. Results may vary. Restrictions apply. He wrote, next cinematic universe, Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter?
I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say Mortal Kombat because, one, there's an actual Mortal Kombat movie coming out, and there's no plans for a Street Fighter movie that I've seen.
But I guess what are you
there's
excited?
that.
Yeah, I would like Street Fighter.
Street Fighter hasn't been relevant in forever, though.
That's what I'm
Mortal
saying. though.
Kombat's on like Mortal Kombat 14.
It's about time, is what I'm saying. Like in like movie production places, like what hasn't been relevant in a while? Street Fighter. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, but making movies off video games is super wishy-washy.
I mean,
it's
what's
hit or miss
what's
hard.
what's a good one and what's a bad one?
What's a good one and what's a bad what?
Video game adaptation or movie adaptation of video game.
I mean, Super
Doom.
Mario Brothers.
Oh, that one's terrible.
Doom was fine. Like Doom in itself was an okay movie. If you took out the concept that was supposed to be based on a video game, the movie would have been mostly standalone by itself, and it would have been fine. But like Super Mario Brothers
That was a terrible one.
had nothing to do with Mario Brothers.
What's that? The Witcher.
The Witcher's
that's
really
a
good.
really good TV series.
Yeah, Henry Cavill did a great job on that.
Is it
The-
Cavill or Cavill?
Cavill,
I'm doing the whole thing with like the guy who played Passion or Jesus.
John Caviezel or
See?
Caviezel.
That's
Okay,
exactly
I
what I'm
literally
doing.
just don't remember his last name. It's
It's not John, is it?
I'm pretty sure his first name is John.
I think it's John.
Yeah,
Jim.
Jim. Might be Jim.
Jim Caviezel.
Yeah.
Caviezel.
I think it's Caviezel.
See that I'm doing. Yeah, so I was doing the same thing with Superman.
I just think because English is your second language.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, I guess there's not a lot of video game movies.
That are good. in
Yeah,
general.
or that I can think of immediately.
Like the
it's more
Assassin's
comic
Creed
book.
movie.
I never watch it.
It was an okay movie, but they definitely fucked up the
That was
video game
Fassbender,
lore.
right?
Yes.
Oh, that was Fassbender.
And it's also Fossbender. So
Oh, see, yeah. Apparently, English people with their names like suck at pronouncing. But
yeah.
I mean, the first Mortal Kombat movie was cool up until you grew up, and then you're like,
Yeah.
"That's a terrible movie." But
Yeah,
as a
it's
young
very
kid,
bad.
you're like, "Yeah, Sonya is pretty hot."
This movie's tight.
Tight. Wow! Wow! Wow!
Wow,
Wow! Wow! We're gonna get in trouble for that one. But no, Street Fighter I think would be cool. I've always liked Street
Have you
Fighter more
seen
than
the
Mortal
Street Fighter
Kombat.
movie?
No.
With Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, that's an actual thing. No,
It's
I
an
have
actual
not.
movie, dude. It's so bad. It's so bad.
I think. I mean, they're both. They'll be both pretty similar type of universes in the sense of like random creatures.
They wouldn't be because Street Fighter is more based on like a fighting tournament with like
Not dying.
with like humans, and there's Blanca who's
And there's like the dude
a
that's
weird
like.
thing.
I guess yeah, most of them are like just
Yeah.
like supernatural like humans.
Yeah, and then
right?
in Street Fighter it's like different realms of reality, and all these different races come to fight,
yeah,
or species.
yeah. I guess that's a good question. I mean,
But I definitely think Mortal Kombat would be better. Mortal Kombat's always been a superior fighting game to Street Fighter.
the only problem with Mortal Kombat is like you wouldn't be able to make an actual universe because everyone's supposed to like if you lose you die kind of thing, right? With Street Fighter,
Have you not looked into Mortal Kombat lore?
no.
There's a reason it's on like fucking 14 games, dude. People have died and came back. There's
Yeah.
zombie versions. There's time travel.
No, yeah, for sure. But
So
that's what I'm
what
saying
you're
is like
saying is just like not
no, but for a
accurate.
movie, I don't think you can make that happen. Like I think with Street Fighter, if the most part is actually just like legit, just following the title like Street Fighter, it's like cool. Like these guys can come back, they'll lose, they'll win. I don't know, but but also I don't know. I don't know
Your
if it would-
opinion is so wrong on this one. I don't know how to
would it
explain
be
to
would
you.
it be a universe or would it just be like sequels?
I mean,
Like, can you make like an individual like Liu Kang movie or like a
yeah.
individual like Ryu movie?
Yeah. And it's also pronounced Ryu,
I
but that's
fucking
fine.
hate you right now. God damn it.
How do you just not know how to say names?
First
I don't
of all,
know.
when it comes to Street Fighter, I'm thinking Mexican because that's how I played it when I was younger.
Well, firstly, they're not
it's
Mexican.
it's Blanca, not Blanca. Okay.
It is Blanca.
No.
It's literally pronounced in the video game.
What I'm
Blanca.
saying is, I grew up playing Street Fighter in Mexico more than I did here, so we just pronounce everything like.
And also,
Spanish.
Ryu is Japanese, not English.
I'm not.
Or
Oh
Spanish.
my god, I hate you so,
So,
much. Anyways,
Just mispronouncing it in both languages is
is it
fucked.
pronounced Ken? Is it pronounced Ken,
Yeah, that's right.
or is it Ken?
Ken. Ken.
Ken?
My name is Ken.
should have said that.
I couldn't tell if that was like Minnesotan or like someone like saying Spanish, like Ken, or like my name's Ken.
It's like, is it Ken or is it Ken?
I still can't tell if it's Minnesotan or Spanish, dude. I can't. It's like messing with my brain.
No, I don't know. I think they're like. I think it'd be cool to figure out how to make a Street Fighter universe because you would have to explore these characters, and it's not as popular as of a franchise, which would give it more opportunity to kind of like grow it more.
Your opinion is such trash right now. I don't even know where you're going with it.
Jesus Christ, son!
Saying Street Fighter is better than Mortal Kombat.
That's what I-
because there's not enough lore
No,
behind
I've
it
always-
to make the characters good.
No, I'm just saying that like the development would be so unique, and it'd be more. The director would have more opportunity to like make the character what it is, as compared to Mortal Kombat, where everything's kind of already established and set. Like I want to see a universe where it's like, here's the basic of the characters. We're not following any comic books. We're not following any video games. We're just making this with like.
So why don't you just make a movie and steal IP? Because there's no point in making a movie about something and not following any of the lore.
It's just worth a shot, man. That's all I'm saying.
Looking at you, Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah. See, they did it right.
Yeah. You remember in Super Mario Brothers where like they picked up a mushroom and it was like this big and then he just eats it? I'm like, is that a drug reference? I think that's a drug reference.
Wasn't Mario the dude that was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah. God, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. John Leguizamo as Luigi.
Oh my god!
God, why can't I remember Mario's name?
Yeah, I don't know. I just would.
But he never said Mario. He said Mario.
I would like to see Ryu and Kien
Ryu.
and Blanca
Blanca.
and Chun-Li. Oh, she was hot.
Dude, she's a fucking video game character.
I know, but she was
dude.
going back to puberty. Check out that episode.
Yeah. All right. You're not going to put that one in either, so I don't know why you
I'm
keep
just gonna leave it just like right above my head the whole time. Oh yeah, I guess if you're watching a podcast, just check out the episode. It's like 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6 before this one. It says on
3 or
Silva.
4 or 5 or 6.
Yeah, I don't know when this is coming out.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, but no, I would say Street Fighter, and you would say Mortal Kombat, and you're wrong.
Yeah, I am definitely not wrong. I believe you don't even have any reason to even pick Street Fighter in the first place.
It would just be fun to watch them.
Have you not seen the Street Fighter movie?
No.
They both, okay, so first Mortal Kombat movie and first Street Fighter movie came out roughly around the same time.
And that's time.
Street Fighter was terrible. It was so bad, dude. You have no idea how bad that movie is. Like, you thought Super Mario Brothers was bad?
I mean, if
Fuck.
Jean-Claude is in it, it can't be that bad. It could be that bad.
Yeah, I was like,
That's like
have you
that's
seen
like
his
saying
movies?
That's saying Steven Seagal is the best action hero fighter person ever to live.
Yeah, because he is.
I mean, he was only good in Insert a movie, I guess. I don't know. He's terrible.
I'll say he's only good in, and then like dub over a
Yeah.
movie.
All right. That was
Anyway.
3.
Yeah, let's
go
move
to
on.
4.
Let's move on.
Ryu.
Ryu.
Round 4.
On. Oh fuck! Your stupid ass question.
Oh, the honor off.
All
right, Chris.
Geez, stupid ass question. On or in a car?
Okay, so the reason why I have
On
to...
or in a car?
Let me explain this one real quick because it doesn't make sense unless you're Mexican. When you're in a car, I'm already messing this one up. When you're inside of a vehicle and you're Mexican, most people would say, "Hey, get off of the car." Like, are you gonna get off? And they're just like, "What do you mean?" And it's like, "Yeah, you're gonna get off the car." You're like, "Well, I'm in the car, so do I get in the car?" And I guess it's just having a conversation about that.
Well, okay, so I guess kind of with what you're saying is when you get have a car and you need to go somewhere, what do?
You get it in it?
You get in it.
Yeah.
But in that same note, when you're getting having to take a bus, what do?
You get on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so that's-
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so I have a really good friends, Jacob and Chrissy. They're married. Hey, you guys don't watch this, but
They don't listen to
you
this.
will after I text you that you have to watch this episode specifically.
Because you said their names.
Yeah, no, so it's funny because this started off because of them. I didn't realize, actually, no, I have realized because someone else told me this, but with them, I got into a huge argument with Jacob because he's like, "What do you mean get off of the car? Like, you're in it. Like, you're not on it." I was like, "Well, you're technically on it." And they're like, "No, you're not." I was like, "Okay, well, do you get on or in a bus?"
Yeah.
And I gave them that argument. It's like, okay, what about a plane? And then the same thing. I'm just like, why is this different? They're like, because the car's smaller. I'm like, that is bullshit.
You get on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
That's the smallest.
Yeah, and you don't get in it.
Yeah. Well, I guess technically you can't get in a motorcycle unless you
Yeah, so it's,
have one of those weird fetishes where you get in the motorcycle.
or the motorcycle gets in you.
Ooh. Breaking Brad, dude.
Breaking Brad. But yeah, so I guess the whole argument is just, I was hoping you would disagree with me. So the fact that you see where I'm at, I guess, is kind of sad.
I mean, I can argue with you all you want.
All right, let's
What
do
do
it.
you say?
Now I say get out,
Wrong.
but I used to say, and sometimes every once in a while, I'm like, yeah, get off. And they're just like, what? Like,
Yeah.
get-
I don't know. It's just hard to it's weird looking at vehicles in general and then trucks and pickup trucks and cars in general having the only form of get in or get out.
Yeah.
Well, buses and planes and all that is get on. I'm not getting in a plane. I'm getting on a plane. So,
I mean, we're also getting in it.
but you're definitely inside of it for
So
sure.
am I wrong? Is anyone
just
wrong
don't
to think
understand.
about it that way? Like,
English is stupid. I don't understand.
English is
that.
stupid, and I think a lot of it has to do with just the way the Spanish language is.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets bájate del carro, which means get off of the car.
Yeah.
no es salte del carro, which is also correct, but we'll say bájate, güey, like no mames, you know,
Yeah,
like get off. I know it's weird, but I think it's like, is there other things like that I can think of? No, but
yeah.
that one specifically, like it bothers people. Like I've gotten like people have been like, dude, you're an idiot. Like this is what it is, and I'm just like, well, I'm not wrong. And then we get into this huge argument as to why I'm not wrong. Like, are you on top of the car? I was like, no, I'm inside of the car. Well, you're in it. I was like, well, yeah, but I'm also on it.
Yeah, you're also on it. But like, yeah, if you say like for somebody to get on the car, it implies they're getting on the hood or on like the roof or something.
Yeah.
But then when like someone takes that logic and applies it to a bus, they're getting inside the bus. And then when they get on like the roof of the bus, they're getting on top of the bus.
But they're still on the bus inside of it.
Yeah, they're still.
Is a requirement that you can walk, like on it?
I mean, I can technically walk in a car.
You can technically walk in a van, yeah.
Yeah,
but
so I don't know.
I don't know. It's just stupid because like that's. I mean,
I agree. This topic is stupid.
Yeah, no, you're right. But the biggest thing about it is that like you have to understand the language barriers that come into place in America.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, we're not bilingual, and there's technically no official language for it.
Yeah.
And English is the dominant language, but you're also bringing in cultures from everywhere else, and we have different ways of structuring sentences.
Yeah.
And so it's just funny to me that people get upset when we're like, yeah, dude, get off. And they're like,
Well, like I always thought that was like interesting, like how Spanish was kind of structured. Like if you're asking someone if they're hungry, you don't say like, "Are you hungry?" You say, "You have hunger," kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually, yeah.
So it's like it's kind of weird that like English doesn't translate like one for one every time.
Yeah, it's always
kinda
like
funny.
it's always like very literal, or yeah. I guess that's actually a good idea. That's a good one right there. Is,
Yeah.
Like tienes hambre is like you have hunger,
Yeah.
instead of are you hungry
Mm-hmm.
would be the equivalent of being like get off the bus or get on the bus.
Or like like how there's different ways to say like, you know, like if you play a sport or like play guitar, play is two different adjectives, right?
yeah.
Yeah, and it's literally meaning the same thing, but it's different.
It's like, okay, so can you get on a house?
Yeah.
That would only be outside, right?
Yeah. So I think that if we're going with a literal definition, if you get on something, you're outside of that said something, like on top of it.
Okay.
If you get in something, then you are
Inside of it.
inside that said something. So like a car would be in, a plane would be in, a bus would be in. So I think the problem is that like planes and buses, when they say, "Oh, I'm getting on the bus," I think that's the wrong form rather
Is it-
than the car being the wrong form. I
Is it
think
just-
the car is the correct
I
form.
think it's also just like size and how much availability is in there, right?
I don't know. It's a good question, but
What about is there one thing you can get on and in? There's like at least one I can think of.
I got really weird and was like, you can technically do that to a horse if you're
I was going less graphic
well,
with that one.
well,
Still graphic.
Whoa,
but,
whoa. I was thinking like Revenant, or like or like Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Empire Strikes
Okay,
Back.
yeah.
I wasn't saying like that. I was
That'd be
just
also
like,
really difficult to do.
just fucking like chop open the horse and get in it. You know,
I
to
was
stay
thinking-
warm and avoid bears or whatever.
I was thinking more of like sex.
Yeah, I know you were. That's why I was like, well, I'm talking
went
like
with the horse.
I was talking like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Talking about a
Yeah.
donkey show over here. Jesus.
That donkey's in you though. On and in.
And
What is
Kinky Kelly.
what has this podcast become? No, it's Kelly and the Hot Stud.
Kinky Kelly and the sexy stud is what it was.
Oh yeah, and then it's like
Kelly's
I'm
a
the
guy's
stud.
name, too.
Yeah.
Hey.
But that's a boy donkey. What has this podcast become, dude? What are
Sorry,
we doing?
guys.
What are we doing?
We talk about boners once, and we just
I
lose
know.
it completely.
We open that floodgate.
Boners,
of boners
Breaking
and now
Brad,
dicks are just
and
everywhere.
now on and in a horse.
I was literally thinking about like the Revenant, and you're talking about like donkey shows.
I was trying to make a joke, and so when you said it, I was like, my mind was still in this like dirty joke mindset.
I don't think it's ever out of that mindset though.
It sometimes.
Oh,
is.
thank God it's done.
So yeah, my opinion is you can get on or in, and if you disagree, you're racist.
All right, and next subject.
That was good.
Final round.
The final subject for this episode, which thank you guys, by the way, of listening.
Yes, thank you all.
If you guys are
all
liking this,
15 of you.
Send it to your friends. Send it to your family. As long
Except your
as they're
grandma.
not-
I
yeah.
don't know if your grandma would like the whole donkey show
Unless
part.
you want to really see your grandma react to something, send it to your grandma. But
Send to that weird uncle that you don't like coming to Thanksgiving because they probably won't come to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
if you have a long lost nephew, send it to him too.
Unless he's like 5, he
But
won't
find
understand.
him. Find him.
Yeah,
first.
you have to find him first.
Ooh.
Anyway, what is the last subject for
I'm gonna let
today?
you read. I'm gonna let you read this one.
Oh, come on, man. You know I can't read.
You're excited. You're gonna get excited for this one.
Bet.
There we go. Go.
Your favorite key and why is it G?
This is Chris's subject, so I know deep down inside he's actually excited about it.
So, what is your favorite key?
And why is it G?
G.
Oh man, it's so funny. Here's
I'm excited.
Yeah, here's a little backstory behind this one.
Every song he writes.
So when we first started playing, Chris was he was pretty cautious. He's kind of like, okay, we're still friends, so I'm not gonna like beat Chris.
I don't know what that means.
And it got to the point where we just got really comfortable with each other that we became this.
We saw each other's penises, and it was different.
And so we were like, I was like writing a new song, and then before I got done with it or whatever, he's like, hey, G, do you notice all your fucking songs start in G? And I was like, God damn it, Chris. So then like I like try my best to like not write anything in G, and then like I bring the song to him. He's like, dude, check the song out. And he's like, let me guess, it's in G. And I was like, well, now it's not. And then
he moved it to F
Yeah, I
sharp.
moved it to F sharp. I moved it down a step so it wouldn't be in G. Which like he's like, God damn it, G.
It made it so much harder.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, like it. I don't know why, but yeah, G's my favorite. Like that's what I start with.
I mean, if you want a little historical information about guitars, they're just written around that. So if you look at the circle of fifths,
Oh, God, here we
guitars
go.
are written according to that. C, G, D, A, E are the main chords on guitar. So that's pretty much how most guitar songs are written, because that's just how the guitar is set
I don't
up
think
to
that's necessarily
play.
true for.
That is true.
I don't think it's true for.
Are you a
for-
musical historian?
Are you?
More so than you.
But you're not. So shut the fuck
Still
up.
more so than you by a lot.
Anyways, I think
It's
what it
fucking
really
Street Fighter 2 ass bullshit.
we're still upset about this apparently. Oh my god. The biggest thing about it for me is more so the fact that I think that's where my range is like really good at. Mm-hmm. Like my vocal range. So I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna write this in this aspect.
Well, yeah,
I'm
because your
pretty comfortable
instrument's
with that.
guitar, so that's literally like I was saying.
Do you think most
that's how a guitar's set
things
up.
would be in G?
Yeah, that's how all guitar chords are set up. If you look at all the open chords and all the main chords on guitar, they're all based around the circle of fifths.
What are the top 3 chords that mainstream pop music uses? Starts with, I should say.
C, G, D, and A, or C, G, D, E minor.
Sounds like a country song already.
Country song is more so like
G, D,
yeah, G, D,
E minor, C.
Yeah, G, D, E minor.
And then
I
they
mean,
just-
you
they
can
then just
you can
move it.
organize it however you want. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's basically that.
What's your favorite key and why is it not G?
D minor, because it's the saddest key.
D minor, huh? Mm-hmm. Interesting.
That's a Spinal Tap joke that just completely flew over your head.
I've never seen Spinal Tap. Yeah.
Wow, I guess this podcast was fun.
Well, you guys, we'll see you guys later. we're ending this topic.
No, I like D minor and F sharp minor are my probably favorite keys.
And I know it sounds really weird, especially if you're not like in like music or have like any like musical knowledge when it comes to playing instruments.
It's fine. G doesn't either.
I don't, but I will say that there's specific like keys I like to start with, which is always either going to be probably G or C for the most part.
Again, that's how guitar is set up. Yeah.
But no, so we're talking more so about, I guess, keys, not so much chords. Do you have like a specific chord or like sound?
Same.
Kind of. But anyways, is there like a specific like unique chord? Like I love like any diminished chords, like any of those jazzy chords. Like I enjoy wholeheartedly.
Some sus suspended like seven
Sevens.
chords.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no. Sus chords are fun. It really depends on where you're resolving it. Because if you're going like down, then you have a sus 4. But if you're like moving up, then you have a sus 2. It really depends on how you use sus chords. I think they're kind of out of place if you don't use them properly. Because I notice a lot of people do is throwing like sus chords in there just to do it, but it doesn't resolve anywhere, so it just sounds weird.
Well, that's something that needs to be brought up too. Is the fact that there's some musicians that want to be so different and creative that they'll add these chords into specific songs. Mm-hmm. You're just like, dude, that doesn't work. And they're like, well, no, bro. Like I just want to do this because it sounds good. I'm like,
it doesn't sound. It like sounds.
it
fine,
could sound cool, but it's also
doesn't-
like if your song's about, I don't know,
It
like,
has to also match the tone, like
and the genre.
all Western music theory is based off the idea of 12-tone equal temperament. So which means every spacing
you lost
between
me.
each note is exactly the same. So if I play a C chord, they're the exact same spacings as if I play a G chord or like major chords. They're the exact same frequency spacing between each notes and blah, 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 whatever. But at the same time, each chord brings like a kind of different tone to it as itself. just because of the frequency range that all those notes hit. Just because it's the same. Why are you laughing?
Keep going.
Just because it's like the same like equal like distance between each note doesn't mean it gives off the same tone and like idea and feeling as each chord. So.
Oh, that was amazing.
Why are you laughing at me? Dude? I'm so confused.
Because you just sound like you're talking gibberish. At least for me, I'm not musically like I'm an idiot when it comes to music theory for anything for one. But there's this video that I watched last week where it's this guy who's trying to introduce like this like panel that's like for specifically for like computers or something like that. Mm. The guy's speaking perfect English, but the shit that he's saying, you're just like, what is he talking about? I'll have to show it to you, but it's super funny because he's just like, yeah, and this is like the flux capacitor of the moving biathlon. That's this and that. And he's like saying like really big scientific words, and you're just like, I understood 1 out of the 20 that he just said right now. Like,
oh, so you're saying music's like computer science to you?
Yeah, no, yeah, it's
Which is weird because don't you do music?
Yeah, and
stuff. So I will
be the first one to admit I didn't really study like music theory.
Yeah, we actually talked about your music theory, and you learned a very unique kind of like. I don't want to say this as a negative, but like church style music theory.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And it was confusing to me, but like you explained it, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I understand that because you learn like the I forgot what it's called, like the phonetics, the do re mi kind of thing. You learn that, but in reference to like chords.
Yeah, so I learned a lot of the stuff I learned was in Spanish. So then like we would say like do re mi fa sol la si do, and that would be like no letters. I have like the sol or things like that. So like I'm really good at reading chords, and I can like play chords like as I'm going, like as if it was sheet music. You put sheet music in front of me, I'm just like F A C. That's an E. Okay, cool.
Well, I mean, if you're looking
every good boy deserves fudge. Okay, that's
well.
An F.
If you're looking at the bass clef on the lines, it's good
fucked.
Burritos don't fall apart, bro.
Burrito.
Soup. Yeah.
But yeah,
no, it's been kind of funny because my daughter's playing orchestral bass right now, and I haven't read.
She pretty much calls me a bitch when it comes to like me trying to explain music theory. So
yeah, I'm not really up to speed on bass scales because I haven't read bass scales or scale in decades. So when I'm like, that's a B, and she's like, no, Dad, that's a D. I'm like, oh right, because this is bass, not treble.
So I know we're out of time as of now, but I will say this. I think, if anything, with us doing this and doing the studio and everything, there is something to be said about acknowledging now that I should have paid better attention in school.
Dude, that's everybody all the time.
No, for sure. But it's like, I complain so much about the aspect of like, well, why do they teach us algebra? Why do they teach us calculus if we're never going to use it? Mm-hmm. It's an introductory. It's like I have to see it this way now because it's like. It's an introduction towards something that might be bigger for you in that sense, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, why are we learning about music theory? Well, now I know that I'm a fucking idiot, so I should have probably paid attention.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, it's hard, but the basics are pretty easy.
I get why school's there, and I don't understand at times why there's specific things why we need to learn.
Yeah.
But now, like in hindsight, being like, oh, I should have got into reading. That way my vocabulary is a lot better. But yeah, no. I'm
Dude, my vocabulary, like sometimes I say words, and I'm like, did I use that word correctly?
I do that all the time.
I don't think I use that word correctly.
Yeah.
But then I just play it off because whatever.
See. Hey, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and listening and watching and just being here for us.
Of course. And as always, if you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Love.
Leave your... I saw this thing today that was like McLovin, but it had a Karen like wig on, and it was like McLove, McLaugh, McLovin. It's pretty good.
I love that. I'm going to get that out of my car.
But anyway, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your any ideas or suggestions for topics in the hat. If you listen to Spotify or any other podcast networks, please
make sure you guys...
Sure.
Oh, you're going to do it? Go for it. If you can like it, make sure you like it. If you can also comment or rate it, please do that as well. We're going to keep on saying that until we see something out of it.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Ow, that was really bad.
Gross.
Ow.
We're gonna.
I heard your nose in that one.
Yeah, I heard my ears.
Your nose peaked the fucking microphone.
Gross.
Anyway, bye.